A new report shows that Mexican drug cartels are using drones to track the movement of our Border Patrol agents every single day. Let's bring back in DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, who's still with us here today. So, Secretary, so they're flying drones, from what I understand, cartel members on the Mexican side to surveil the border, I assume to see where you're deploying assets, and then they can engineer where to funnel either human trafficking or drugs. What can be done? I'm curious, what can you do? Can you shoot these drones down? How do you stop this?
Well, we're exploring all opportunities that we have, but that's exactly what they're doing, Will, is they're using their drones to spot where our officers are, where we have assets and resources, and then diverting their activities to different locations. So we're doubling down on the amount of people and agents that we have there, also what we can do in defensive measures to counteract what they're doing, but also using our own technology in ways to interdict their drones, but also to shut them down, potentially take control of them, and land them ourselves. So we'll use all of those opportunities to make sure that we're on top of it. But that's one thing that I think the American public needs to realize, and that everyone needs to grasp a hold of, is that technology isn't just on the good guys' side, that the bad guys are using it too. And once they use drones to identify where resources are, we look at how other ways they may be able to use drones. Would they weaponize them? Would they use them in partnership with other organizations? You know, my concern has always been that we don't just have the cartels operating in a much more sophisticated manner. They're also building partnerships with other enemies of the United States of America. We see them partnering with the Chinese individuals and laundering money. And so people who hate America will partner together in order to do damage to us and to infiltrate our country too.
I smile when you bring up the technology because, of course, you're the United States government. You have technology to take control of their drones and land them wherever you may like. You don't shoot them down with a 12 gauge, the way I might have imagined it. But that being said, that being said, Secretary, I have spoken to many members and former members of the drug cartels. The military in Mexico is integrated in so many different ways into the cartels, meaning their technological capabilities are really high. We talk a lot about these drones. What other technologies are they employing, if not from their own military, like you point out, from the help of people like the Chinese military, perhaps? What are they doing that we're not even aware of that would blow our minds in terms of how sophisticated?
Well, one thing that I think we all need to remember is it's not that the Mexican military is free of corruption, first of all. So we have elements of the Mexican military or Department of Defense that is partnering with cartels. And we also see them using apps in how they process and facilitate people, human trafficking, drug trafficking, but also exchange of money, how they utilize some of our systems against us, and then scanning technologies and really distribution processes, which are extremely sophisticated. So we have to stay in front of them. If you can think of a technology that's out there in the dark web or communication devices that are utilized by the largest companies in the world and by those involved in the development of new technologies in the business side, the cartels are accessing that as well. And remember, they have no limitation to the amount of funds and resources they can pour into it, or bad actors who want to partner with them to proliferate these drugs.
All right. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, thanks so much for spending so much time with us today.
Absolutely. You bet, Will. Have a great day.